Hi friends, welcome to Sindhu English. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம சேனல்ல GKல இருக்கக்கூடிய 10th unit abbreviations தான் நாம இப்ப பார்க்க போறோம். First question, what does the acronym NASA stands for? The answer is National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Second, the abbreviation WHO represents World Health Organization. What is the full form of UNICEF? UNICEF. The answer is United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Next, NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Next, the abbreviation FBI stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation. Next, what does UNESCO stands for? United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Next, IMF is the abbreviation for International Monetary Fund. The full form of CIA is Central Intelligence Agency. Next, what does WTO stand for? World Trade Organization. Next, EU stands for European Union. The abbreviation FAO represents Food and Agricultural Organization. What is the full form of OECD? Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. Next, ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Next, the abbreviation of GATT stands for General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. What does SAARC stand for? South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. ADB is the abbreviation for Asian Development Bank. The full form of BRICS is BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. What does FEMA stands for? FEMA. What does FEMA stands for? Federal Emergency Management Agency. Next question. IRS stands for Internal Revenue Service. IRS, Internal Revenue Service. The abbreviation NSA represents National Security Agency. What is the full form of DRDO? Defense Research and Development Organization. ISRO stands for Indian Space Research Organization. The abbreviation CBI stands for Central Bureau of Investigation. What does BARC stands for? Baba Atomic Research Center. NTPC is the abbreviation for National Thermal Power Corporation. The full form of SEBI is The full form of SEBI is Securities and Exchange Boards of India. What does NITI stands for in NITI Ayog? Nidhi Ayog அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதுல NITI அப்படின்னா என்னன்னு கேக்குறாங்க. What does NITI stands for in Nidhi Ayog? The answer is National Institution for Transforming India. Next, UIDAI stands for Unique Identification Authority of India. Unique Identification Authority of India. Next, the abbreviation NPCI represents. The abbreviation NPCI represents National Payments Corporation of India. What is the full form of BHIM? What is the full form of BHIM? Bharat Interface for Money. PMJDY stands for PMJDY stands for Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The abbreviation AMRUT stands for. The abbreviation AMRUT stands for Atal Mission for Regeneration and Urban Transformation. What does MGNREGA stands for? So, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. UDAY is the abbreviation for. UDAY is the abbreviation for Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. The full form of PMAY is. The full form of PMAY is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. What does GST stand for? Goods Service Tax. Goods and Services Tax. ICDS stands for Integrated Child Development Services. The abbreviation NHM represents National Health Mission. What is the full form of SSA? Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. RBI stands for Reserve Bank of India. The abbreviation of ONGC stands for Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. What does HAL stands for? Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. CSIR is the abbreviation for Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The full form of IIT is Indian Institute of Technology. What does AIIMS stands for? That is AIMS. What does AIMS stands for? All India Institute of Medical Sciences. ICAR stands for Indian Council of Agricultural Research. The abbreviation NHAI represents National Highway Authorities of India. National Highways Authority of India. What is the full form of FSSAI? FSSAI. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. FSSAI. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. TRI stands for TRAI stands for Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. The abbreviation CAG stands for Comptroller and Auditor General. What does ECO SOC stands for? ECO SOC stands for Economic and Social Council. Economic and Social Council. ILO is the abbreviation for International Labour Organization. Next question. The full form of IAEA is International Atomic Energy Agency. Next, what does UNDP stands for? United Nations Development Program. United Nations Development Program. WIPO stands for World Intellectual Property Organization. World Intellectual Property Organization. The abbreviation UNEP represents United Nations Environment Program. United Nations Environment Program. What is the full form of ICC? What is the full form of ICC? So, International Criminal Court, International Cricket Council. So, we can use for this both A and C. International Criminal Court, International Cricket Council, ICC. Next, OPEC stands for Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The abbreviation APEC stands for Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. What does G20 stands for? A group of 20. NAFTA is the abbreviation for North American Free Trade Agreement. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. Next, the full form of CERN is. The full form of CERN is Center for European Nuclear Research. The full form of CERN is European Organization for Nuclear Research. This is the right answer. So, the Center for European அப்படிங்கிறது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆரம்பத்தில் இருந்தது, இப்போ சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. So, this is the right answer. European Organization for Nuclear Research. Next, what does ISO stands for? The answer is International Organization for Standardization. Next, Interpol stands for International Criminal Police Organization. The abbreviation UNSC represents United Nations Security Council. What is the full form of UNGA? United Nations General Assembly. WEF stands for World Economic Forum. The abbreviation ADB stands for Asian Development Bank. What does AIIB stands for? Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Next, SCO is the abbreviation for Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The full form of MEA is Ministry of External Affairs. Ministry of External Affairs. What does MOD stands for? Ministry of Defense. What does MOD stands for? Ministry of Defense. CII stands for Confederation of Indian Industry. The abbreviation FICCI represents Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. The abbreviation FICCI represents Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. What is the full form of NASSCOM? NASSCOM. National Association of Software and Service Companies. SIGBI stands for Small Industries Development Bank of India. The abbreviation NABARD stands for NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. What does IRDA stands for? Insurance Regulatory and the Development Authority. EPFO is the abbreviation for Employees Provident Fund Organization. Next, the full form of ESIC is Employees State Insurance Corporation. What does UPSC stands for? Union Public Service Commission. SSC stands for Staff Selection Committee. Staff Selection Commission. The abbreviation IBPS represents. The abbreviation IBPS represents Institute of Banking Personnel Selection. What is the full form of NET? NET. What is the full form of NET? National Eligibility Test. CAT stands for Common Admissions Test. The abbreviation NEET stands for National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. What does JEE stands for? Joint Entrance Examination. Joint Entrance Examination. CLAT is the abbreviation for Common Law Admission Test. The full form of GATE is Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. What does IAS stands for? Indian Administrative Service. IPS stands for Indian Police Service. The abbreviation IFS represents Indian Foreign Service. What is the full form of IRS? What is the full form of IRS? The answer is so for this one we can choose both A and B, Indian Revenue Service and Internal Revenue Service. Indian IRS stands for Indian Revenue Service and also Internal Revenue Service. Next question, IES stands for so this one also both A and B, Indian Engineering Service or Indian Economic Services. Next 95, the abbreviation CDS stands for Combined Defense Services. 96, what does NDA stands for? So NDA stands for both A and B, National Defense Academy, okay, or National Democratic Alliance. National Defense Academy or National Democratic Alliance. UGC is the abbreviation for University Grants Commission. The full form of AICT is All India Council for Technical Education. What does NCERT stands for? National Council of Educational Research and Training. ICMR stands for Indian Council of Medical Research. Okay friends, I hope this video will be useful to you. So இந்த வீடியோ பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா மறக்காம லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க. நம்மளுடைய சேனலை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் பார்க்குறீங்க அப்படின்னா சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ அப்போ தான் அடுத்தடுத்து நான் கொடுக்குற வீடியோஸஸ் உங்களுக்கு நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன்ஸில் காமிக்கும். ஓகே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், ஸோ ஜிகேவும் 10 யூனிட்ஸஸ் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணியாச்சு. ஸோ அடுத்ததாக சைக்காலஜியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய டாபிக்ஸை ஒவ்வொரு யூனிட்டையும் இதே மாதிரி யூனிட் டெஸ்ட்ஸ் தான் நாம் பார்க்கலாம். தேங்க்யூ ஆல்.